Welcome to Moss Marketing Mondays, aka the M3 Podcast. Brought to you by Moss Marketing Group, bringing you everything marketing every Monday. Stay tuned for marketing tips and tricks you can use today. The M3 Podcast, marketing knowledge to help you succeed. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the M3 Podcast. This week, we got Dalton and Ricky from the MMG squad, and we have Spencer from Reno Powersports. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
So Spencer is the sales manager at Reno, and Reno is actually a company we've partnered with, and we work side by side now, and really come to respect you in business and everything that you do. So we're very thankful to have you on the podcast tonight.
I'm thankful to be here. Thankful for what you guys do for us. So,
yeah, you and Ricky were out partying in Atlanta.
Oh, we were
getting all ready for it.
Yep. Atlanta won. Well, Atlanta won for me. Ricky conquered Atlanta.
I made it out just fine.
Yeah, I did not.
But that was for Club BRP.
Yep. So the 24 launch was in Atlanta. They came out with the new models. They got the Maverick R, which is 240 horsepower now.
Damn.
And a 7-speed transmission that's not a belt.
Thing is practically a car.
Oh, yeah.
With the price tag of a car.
They're, 45 to 60, depending on how you build it out.
Are the so are the R's the ones with the suspension that goes over the wheel? Is that
yes? So that's that new scrub suspension. Basically, it keeps constant ground contact. Okay. It looks like a praying mantis. We found out.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Kind of does, but
looks different.
You guys were there, and I was on Facebook every single time I got on. Something was popping up about that.
Oh yeah,
and it was all going viral.
Well, it's the first revolutionary motor engine. They built it more for the rally side of stuff, though, because it has all the smart technology onto it. They got a speaker system. It's a 10-speaker system. I don't even understand how you can sit in it and listen to it because it's so freaking loud.
It sounds good, though. It's not just loud. It sounds clear.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were on the other side of the hall, and I just thought it was a normal radio and then found out it was the speaker system in the Maverick. I was like, all right, that's a little odd.
So what got you into the power sports space?
That's actually a funny story. So I've worked for my company since 2008. I started off as the porter, and I actually got a job offer because the owner of the store needed a porter, and I was working on a farm. Asked if I wanted a job, decided to jump, made the jump, climbed the ladder. Now I run basically the entire dealership for the last 3 or 4 years, maybe longer. So, but I've always grown up with the stuff, riding dirt bikes, ATVs, watercraft, the whole 9 yards, and fell in love with it. So every time I go to work, I don't feel like I'm at work. I get to travel around, see things that no one else gets to see, ride things that no one else gets to ride. Probably have more travel opportunities than I ever thought of working at a motorcycle dealership. So,
that was making me jealous.
Santorini?
What?
Santorini?
No, Italy. What is that? Sardinia.
Yeah.
Santorini. Close enough.
It's an island.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nope.
they're somewhere over there.
Oh, yeah. Been to France, all over, riding motorcycles. So I love it. Can't complain. Ricky gets to come.
Yeah, that was cool. And for context, like what brands do you have?
So we do Can-Am, where BRP products in general. So BRP is Bombardier recreational products. They do Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and then Can-Am On-Road, which is the Spider Rikers. You have the Piaggio group, which is Aprilia, Piaggio, and Vespa. Vespa and Piaggio are scooters. Aprilia are the Italian motorcycles. Then we have Ducati. We have Wave Runner, which is a division of Yamaha. They're the PWC side. Then we have Yamaha On-Road and Off-Road. Ural. So we have Russian-built motorcycles with sidecars if you ever need to get around.
Okay, I kind of thought that looked Russian.
Yes. So
I feel like we need one.
Honestly, they're badass.
They're pretty cool looking.
So who buys those?
I can't say I've ever seen one.
I don't. I'm just wondering, like, when they came to the table and they say, "Hey, we want you guys to sell motorcycles with sidecars," and someone's like, "You know what? We'll take you on. Let's do it."
Well, here's the background of why we have them. The owner of the store, we used to have a sales manager. He was 6'4", 400 pounds. The owner of the store said, if it can hold him and we go down the road and not break, I'll sign you. We got him in the cart. We couldn't get him out of the cart, though. It was probably the funniest thing ever.
He still lives in that cart behind the dealership today.
Right? No, he actually fell down an elevator shaft. That's a true story too, but that's for another thing. But we ended up taking them. We probably sell one a month, and it's more of a look at me bike. You'll see them down on the plaza. We had one guy that actually made the news in Chicago. There was a blizzard up there, and literally they're filming, and you can see it on YouTube if you go Google it. They say no one's crazy enough to be out on the road. And then all of a sudden, this guy's driving down the road in a Ural.
Nice.
And it was the one we sold, and I was like, no shit. But it's just like a side-by-side. I mean, it goes everywhere. It's two-wheel
Really?
drive, one-wheel drive, whole 9 yards. So,
They're pretty cool looking. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what I'd do with it.
It's
Drive
definitely
like
a
an ATV.
certainly a conversation.
If we get a
piece.
trailer behind it, Ricky and I could do content in one of those.
I would love to see that. Just MMG stickers all over it.
Yeah. We'd roll in there and be like, absolutely, we're not signing
we,
these guys.
we would have to go. We'd have to go
I don't
black
know.
and gold.
I'm just saying, you might be able to sign more just because we're like, all right, these guys seem cool.
Yeah.
We know how to get people talking.
Yeah.
See?
Sidecars.
They would never forget us.
Well, you guys have both been in sales. It's icebreakers.
That's
See?
true.
That's a big icebreaker.
You could get through every single gatekeeper you wanted to.
But no,
Hey,
Yes.
these-
tell them we're the sidecar guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we have to get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. People are like, these guys just pulled up in like a sidecar motorcycle thing, and they want to talk to you. I'd be like, come again?
I gotta see this.
Oh,
Go, send
we
them
do
in.
that all the time. Like people coming in, they're like, hey, you got to go outside and look at this. And I'm like, why? You won't believe it. Just go outside. And it's like, okay. And it's like, oh, shit. Like we get homeless people that come up and literally they'll be asking and begging for everything. I actually hired 2 of them to wash bikes. Turned out really good. They're really nice.
Yeah.
But we have the most comedic people ever around our place.
Dude, I think that's just being in retail sales. Like being in the car business for the stint that I was in it. Like I've actually legitimately thought about writing a book about it. Just starting, like when I started in the car business to when I ended, there's an easy book to be read.
Are you talking like all the stories of the things you run into?
Yeah, most of the time, like half
Daily.
the time I didn't even want to tell people because they would think I'm making it up.
That's true.
Like you see shit happen day in and day out. Like when you would tell people, I'm like, yeah, I had a guy come in with a 380 credit score and he's yelling at me that we have shitty financing.
Oh, yeah. Or you're
I'm like-
discriminatory and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like, I don't get you.
Yeah. Like
So-
we had one guy come in that was throwing a fit and he was with his significant other and the guy was being rude to the salesperson. And what most people don't know is Mid-Continent Library, they will put you into collections if you get enough out on them. And
What?
I saw it one time ever and this guy's credit was trash. And I'm like reading through, I'm like, so you're not allowed to give like the full credit report out, but you can show them the last page, which has their name on it, their score. So I would just put an X and a line. I'd highlight it real big. I'd walk out. I'm like, hey, like if I ever want to put someone in their place, it was being rude. I'd be like, hey, we just have to come out and actually have you sign this saying that this is your name and everything. This is what your score pulled as.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this shows that your score pulled at 385. And I was like, one of the biggest problems I'm having right now is when I'm sitting over to the banks, you can't even get your library books back. So they're not really liking the deal.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's like, that goes on your credit? I'm like, it's in collections right now, bro. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Go pay your
Everything
$10,
hits-
dude.
yeah.
oh no, they have them for like 400 some bucks.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know if you
Wow.
How
just,
many
bucks.
books is that?
Sounds like he was a scholar though.
well,
if you met the guy, I wasn't thinking so. But
sounds like it wasn't the nonfiction finance books.
Probably not.
It's a thought that counts. You had the education, you just didn't use it.
yeah, but it's, I think retail sales, I don't even know where these people came from. Like, I don't even know where I go run into one of them at.
I have this theory.
Do they hide out together? And they,
Well, you have 2 different types of people. Most people that have a medium income over 150, you guys think would have 800 credit scores, right?
no, that's definitely not true.
They actually have like the most mediocre, worst credit scores because they payment themselves out.
Mhm.
And no one understands that at 150, yeah, you got 10K and all that stuff after tax, blah, blah, blah coming in, but you're dishing out like 99% of all of it. And then they get mad when they can't get bought. Those are the worst ones because they think they're entitled.
Right.
And I
Oh.
think also those are people that they actually have income that's been given them the power to leverage into financing.
Yep.
There's sometimes when people just make so little money that they're never able to leverage themselves into getting that shitty of credit.
Oh, yeah.
Because like if you finesse your way to get under a 400, like you're a smooth talker. Like
Oh, yeah. They know all the buy here, pay here.
Yeah, you finesse someone into giving you another one and another one and another one.
Like, dude, I'm doing it this time, I promise.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm actually impressed that you have 5 repos. That's pretty good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I go, you think
Most people don't make it past 2.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I think the best one is the guy that went through a chapter 7 and then a chapter 13 and he still keeps coming back. And I'm like, what do you do? Like, you didn't learn from the first one?
Well, it's a bucket list thing. Like, so you got to collect them all.
Yeah.
All right, Pokemon.
We had a guy that would absolutely dog on the dealership all the time. And great thing about bankruptcy is it's public records. So this guy comes up, tells us we have terrible financing, everything, and then would rag on Facebook on every single thing that we'd post. So I just got to where when he would post stuff, I just post a link to the public record.
That's pretty legit.
I'm just like, hey, you know what? Here you go. Like, you can explain this to everyone else.
Oh, yeah. That's legit.
But
I would imagine he deleted his comment pretty fast.
yeah, he blocked us.
Nice.
Actually, so
That
actually
worked
worked
out.
out pretty well.
That brings up a good question. So you know how like Business Better Bureau, they should make one for the customer side so we get to rate them.
I agree.
It
I'm
should be
just
like
saying.
Uber.
Yes.
It should be like Uber where you can rate 2 ways.
But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying because I'm like, it's a two-sided story because everyone in business right now is getting attacked because customer service from COVID is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no one knows how it works. Sales works. Everyone has to get back to reality. But we don't get to judge the people that are outlandish.
Yeah.
That are like screaming and not feasible on doing stuff. I want to be like, this dude's a 1-star. And just like Google blast them and, you know.
Because those are also the ones that are the most outspoken about you not doing your job according to whatever they think is supposed to go on.
But they have no grasp of what reality is.
Those
in
are
my
also
style.
the people that will never leave a good review either. If they have a good experience,
Oh, yeah.
they wouldn't leave a good review.
Whoever said customers are always right are liars.
Oh, I agree.
Like, we literally had and when I got into the car business, I'm like, car people are shitty people. I'm like, that's just like what I believe. That's like what everyone's always been told. After I got in the car business and you were actually like trying to help people, I'm like, everyone told me when I got into the car business, like, buyers are liars. I was like, that's so false.
If they're talking, they're liars.
And it was crazy when people would like sit there and like, they would sit there and flat out to your face tell you something. You're like, and then you would pull their credit report. They're like, oh, that's on there?
Yeah.
I'm like, you literally just lied to me, like just flat out like 2 seconds ago.
Oh, yeah.
Where they'd tell you that their income's one thing and then you go to like get a paycheck stuff. I'm like, there's no way you thought that was right.
Oh, I love that. I like I make 100,000. I'm like, all right, I need your last 2 paycheck stubs. You make 50 grand a year. Where's the other 50? Oh, well, it's all under, I don't know. Like, okay.
It's my side gig.
So
it's
it's
all
50.
cash, but
I ran into it multiple times where like I had a car deal. I was working the whole car deal. And these people were like decent credit, but they were probably 650s to 700s. And they were like right at that cusp, but the bank was wanting proof of income. And I was like, all right, we'll get it. And I'm looking at their credit report and I started understanding why the bank was wanting. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. They don't miss payments. But if I'm adding up what they make, there's no way that they pay for all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I go ask them, and they're like dead set that they both think they make $6,000 a month. And I'm like, after taxes, I'm like, the math doesn't add up. I've added up every single line that they have, and I'm putting it down. I'm like, go get me a paycheck stub. And they're like, well, they have to go to their house to go get it. I'm like, send them to their house, bring me back a paycheck stub. I get back. One of them makes like $9,500 a month. The other one makes like $14,000 a month.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, where did you come up with 6? I was like,
That's just what I see when I take it home.
they're like, well, we just thought that was kind of ballpark. I'm like, what, every 2 weeks? Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. I think the worst ones are Army people. They don't understand their leaves and earnings statement. We get a lot of the kids that come in and they go, yeah, I make $4,000 a month. And then they get housing allowance and all the other stuff that they don't know they can include on income. And all said and done, they make like $12,000 a month. And they're like, I don't see that. I'm like, yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
So
That are like when you get truck drivers, will try to show that on paper they show they make 120, 150,000 a year, but then you deduct all their costs out. They definitely don't make that.
Oh, yeah.
And they think they're a buyer at $150,000 a year. I'm like, yeah, that's not what you actually make.
We'll try.
Yeah.
That's all I say. We'll try. I can't say no. I'm not the bank. So
So do you help with the finance side also, or are you?
Yeah, I run basically the whole front end operation. So the finance side and the sales side, ordering units, used cars, used bikes, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
what does your finance side look like in that space? Is
right
it
now it's horrible with what's going on. We're fighting DTI issues, so debt to income. I think the worst one I've seen so far is 70%, which
shit.
I don't understand how they even got there, because most banks' caps are like 43 to 50.
Mm-hmm.
But this dude just went for it, I guess.
The craziest thing too, that I still don't understand this like to date, is how they finance everything in the auto space on everything. They go off of gross income.
Yeah. Not net.
Which just like baffles me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if you make $100,000 a year, you do not take home close to $100,000 a year.
No.
Towards like when you start looking at those numbers, like, and it's even crazier when you start scaling up past those numbers. And that's why that person that makes 150, 200 ends up in the spot that they're at, because they're budgeting out 150 to 200 grand most of the time.
Correct.
When you actually break it down, it's like you have to break down off of net, which I don't know why banks run off of gross.
I really don't know either.
I
I
feel
want
like
to go ask my banker tomorrow.
All right.
Like, what are we doing?
I feel like people would be in better financial positions if we ran off of net.
Yeah, I think you'd probably profit more. People
Yep.
wouldn't be upside down and prime rate at 8.5% right now.
Yeah, that's.
So
Do you think that rates are going to shift here soon?
I think in November, and I'm not a politician or politic or whatever, but I think in November, if they don't go down, everyone's screwed,
Yeah.
to be honest. I mean, I'll tell you, the beginning of the year to now in my business, we're doing great in September. August was horrible, but I've heard it was horrible all over cars, bikes, everything. So
I will say that I've heard from like the RV space, I've heard from the car space, I've heard from pretty much everything. But what they're doing right now is they're eliminating that top end buyer.
mm-hmm.
That the people that are still trying to buy right now are the 500s to the 650s.
Correct.
And it's like that 700 to 850 is like out of market right now.
Oh yeah.
Because they're looking at it like the person that's a 800 when they're trading in a vehicle, they're not trading in something that doesn't run. They have a vehicle normally that's decent, and they're like, hey, I have, like, that was why it was so hard for me to pull a trigger on my truck. Was that one came in, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I have 199 on my other truck. Luckily, I had a crazy amount of equity in it, so that's why it made sense. But it's like, that's the highest rate I've ever taken on something. It was at 5.25.
Same truck that I got.
And it was like, and that was a paper, like baller ass, no points were made, nothing, like
Oh yeah.
top
Buy
of
rate.
it. Yeah. And I'm like, and that was beating GM's rate.
Damn.
GM's
Yeah.
rate on it was like 7.5.
Yep.
And it's just like, that's hard to swallow.
Oh yeah.
On a new vehicle, brand new vehicle, that's insane.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So when you're looking at that, like they're eliminating buyers out of the space. So it's like somebody's got to do something to bring back the real buyers in and bring the top line buyers back in.
Oh yeah, they got to. I mean, there's no way we can't keep going at this pace with interest rates. Although, you know, I keep hearing all the older guys go, back in my day, we had 12%. I'm like, well, I've never had a rate over 2%
Yeah.
until this year. And then I'm like, oh shit. But I mean, our OEMs are bringing back 199 for 36 and 599 for 60. So it's not bad. I mean, but the hard part is qualifying. People's DTIs are so out of whack and credit scores are dropping left and right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really do anything.
I think it is going to, I think things have to lift here soon, break something, because I mean, you're seeing it with dealerships and they're trying to incentivize on certain vehicle models.
Oh yeah.
But the hard thing with that is like so many people I feel like have been discouraged from manufacturers that a lot of times people don't even take that as like something to listen to anymore.
It's
Oh,
very
we're offering
true.
0% for 72. Everyone's like, yep, no one qualifies for that.
Oh yeah.
Because you had the guy that was a 750 that went in to try to get qualified and like, hey, you don't wear a size 8 shoe, so you don't qualify.
Oh yeah.
Like,
you had something 8 years ago that shouldn't affect you and it affects you and you're tier 3 all of a sudden,
yeah.
but you're like $850.
Dude,
Yeah, it happens all the time. It just happened to a few customers of ours. I mean, there's 760s and they got tier 3 rates, and you try to rationalize with the bank, and I'm like, what is going on?
yeah.
But, you know,
I'm not a banker, so I'm not going to act like I'm a banker.
nope.
What would you say one of like your favorite parts about the industry that you're in is?
I would say the people. So everyone that gets together, it's unlike cars. I sell fun. So you don't need what I have. You just want it. But it brings groups of people out. So, I mean, during COVID, our business soared because everyone realized that it brought families closer together, our watercraft, going out, getting back out there. I mean, our industry, to be honest, was just kind of stale on new adventure people coming in. But now you see motorcycles out there, boats, all of it. So, and the people that you meet, I mean, the stories are crazy. Like the trips that people go on, like doing the Alaska trip, we have a lot of people that do that, or they do the iron butt rides now. Do you guys know what that is?
I don't.
So the iron butt rides are like basically in 48 hours, you got to ride like 10,000 miles. They have like standards and all that stuff and like different levels. And people go out and do this all the time now. And it's like a normal
What?
thing.
Jeez.
Yeah. The other thing that's cool
What was the
is
time frame on that?
I'll have to look it up to be exact, but it's like in 2 days you have to ride a ridiculous amount of miles. It's literally like you only sleep for like 3 or 4 hours, it seems like. But people do it all the time. And then the other thing, we do the Wounded Warrior Project. Basically, it's like Can-Am has a bunch of 3-wheelers, and they get together, and all the Wounded Warriors come out, and it's their like therapeutical ride.
Yeah.
And it brings an entire group together. So, and you saw a bunch of that at the show. They have all that stuff. So they have another thing that came out that like national parks are shutting down because side-by-sides are ruining them, but they're actually showing people that it's the people that are doing it, and the other group of people are the good ones. You always have that bad person that shuts everything down. So we get a lot of bad rep for our stuff, but at the same time, brings a lot of people out.
Yeah.
So
I also think the cool thing that you guys have, like you said, you sell fun.
oh yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people don't recognize in marketing and sales and things like that. Of like when we sold vehicles, I understood certain vehicles are wants.
Oh yeah.
And there's certain vehicles that are needs. And you just knew at certain price points, certain things were wants and certain things were needs. And when you're selling fun and 100% a want, I feel like you get a different clientele a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
That, and I might totally be wrong. Like if somebody can't get finance or something like that, I mean, it's.
Oh, they come up with cash somehow. We don't ask questions. We don't ask questions.
Well,
but
also, it's not like somebody's going to roll in there and they're like, ah, dang, I need a new motorcycle. Like if your car breaks down and you're going to the dealership, like you could have a pretty negative mindset going into that, being like, oh, I have to get a car so I can make it to work.
That's how I got my truck. I would have never bought my truck, but it finally hit like 310,000 and I blew the motor and I was like,
dang.
well, I guess I'm buying a new truck. I was going to hold off until it got better, but nope. So got another one.
The hardest time was like when you would have somebody just like show up, like a car roll up and somebody get out the passenger seat and the car would leave. I'm like, shit.
Ooh.
They're leaving with something, or they think they are.
Yeah.
And the
That's their plan.
The salespeople always thought they were like, I don't know why. They were always like super pumped.
That's our worst fear. Like if someone rolls up and drops a guy off, I'm like, are you going to steal my bike? Like, are you driving off on the
I'm
coming back?
like, shit, they just came in an Uber.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you can't ride with them. Like if they go test drive a car, you're in the car with them.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not hopping on the back of a bike with the dude.
I never really thought of it that way, but it's like a lot of times when people came Ubering in, it was like they had a car that broke down or something.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. They would sit there and Uber around dealership to delership for the day.
That's a cost.
Like,
yeah.
Because
I don't have a down payment. I spent all my money on the Ubers.
Well, like
That's
I
insane.
remember this lady comes rolling in and the sales guy's like, oh, bro, she's leaving in something. She came in an Uber. And I pull her credit. I'm like, dude, every dealership
Has ran.
south of 10 miles of here has ran her credit today. I was like, and I go, and guess what? I go, none of them even sent her out.
Yeah.
I go, not a single bank has pulled her credit. I was like, they didn't even need to. And
That's great.
He's like, so she can't buy. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely the case.
You should give her a ride home.
Yeah.
Or to the buy here, pay here.
How many people have stolen bikes on like test drives from you guys?
Knock on wood. No one so far.
Dalton's going to come be number one.
Yeah, I was wanting to test drive this new Ducati. I was just thinking about getting something.
Oh yeah. No, we qualify pretty well. We've had the recent one. I had a kid wreck a bike, and then I gave him the option of fix it or buy it, and he bought it. We've only had, I think, 2 or 3 wrecks, and since I've been there, and we've been robbed twice. So literally the day after I was getting back from my daughter being born, I get a call at 4 a.m. And I don't even know how they got into our warehouse. Like, we're more curious on that one, but they got 2 side-by-sides and basically just drove them straight out. They hot-wired everything and just left. So
You know what they're not stealing? A jet ski.
Yeah, that would.
that is not true.
Oh,
So we had a guy.
I'm wrong.
Hook it up.
I will show you in the parking lot. We had a guy bring one in, take the wheel off of it because he didn't have a tongue lock, and basically they hooked up to it and drug it down the road, stole it, and the same day they caught it in Cass County at someone's house. And the person that called was the dude's mom. Was like, "Hey, that's not yours. Like, you stole this. I'm gonna put you in jail." I was like, "Go, mom, go."
What a rat.
kid needs to learn a lesson.
But I was like, "That's the first watercraft that ever got stolen on land."
Yeah, that's impressive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then we had one. We actually had the U.S. Coast Guard call us this year. It was the weirdest thing ever.
It's good.
A boat got stolen in Michigan out of everything, and the only reason they knew that we were the selling dealer is one of my guys' business cards was in the glove box of the thing. And I was like, "So you just randomly called and was like, yeah."
You thought we were going to be able to help?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, "All right, this is awkward." So come to find out, yeah, we actually sold it. Knew the guy. He lived right down the road. I was like, huh. I'm like, I'm surprised he didn't. Usually when stuff gets stolen, our community is so small. Like, you call around to the dealerships, give the VIN numbers because people are stupid and come in and they're like, "I need a key. I lost it." I'm like, "I need the VIN number to your unit before I do this."
No.
They give it over and it's like, "Yeah, bring it in. Thanks for bringing it. Have a good day."
We are taking that back.
Yeah,
Criminals aren't always the smartest.
that's true.
So if you're watching this and you're a criminal or you're listening, don't take the VIN number.
Yeah, if they
somewhere
need
else.
the VIN, just go somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah, don't go to the
Informational
dealership
videos.
down the street. It's not going to work.
Oh yeah. Have you guys felt anything with the mass market media and the whole economy going on right now?
So, in the car business, I watch kind of the ups and downs of the car business. And our dad was in the mortgage space in 2008. And it's like, it hurt him, but he still did fine through it. Like, he had a book of business that was large enough. So when I created this, I was wanting something that wasn't economy dictated, that we do well when the economy is doing well. When economy goes down, we do 10 times better.
No shit.
So that's where I don't look at it as like we need to work with all business owners, because there are a lot of business owners that pull back the reins of marketing.
Oh yeah.
And they're normally the ones that fail.
Correct.
But there's also business owners out there that look at your market share just got a lot cheaper. So that's the way like I look at it, is like, as things are going down, there's marketing companies that are pulling back on their own marketing. And I'm tripling down right now. It's like go time. Like,
Oh yeah.
when everyone's pulling their money back and you come into play, like, now you're standing in an empty arena. It's yours to take.
Correct.
And so that's where like we have a lot of those business owners coming our way right now. That last month we closed out 10 new accounts.
Damn.
So it's like we're closing out a lot of new accounts. We have a lot of new business coming our way, but it's people that are starting to feel that impact and they're saying, "Hey, how can I counteract it?"
Oh yeah. Now's the time where you gotta have marketing.
Yeah.
If you don't have marketing, you're gonna sit back and fall out. You
But-
gotta ride the wave, not hide the wave.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that I feel like try to hide from it, and they try to,
Oh yeah.
this whole idea of maintaining, like, you're either growing or you're dying. There's no in between. And there's a lot of people that just don't understand that with inflation the way that we have it in today's world, like, you have to be growing to stay afloat. Like, if you're not actively growing, that whole idea of just maintaining is just, you're going to just sit there and burn money and you're going to go under.
Yep.
And Dre and I have seen it with dealers that we went into. we went to dealers and they're like, well, we're just going to ride it out. And I'm like, I'm sitting there doing the math on inventory, and I'm like, I don't know how you guys run inventory in your space, but like auto dealers are floor planned on everything.
Same way.
And they call like those gratuity checks come in, like they only floor them 60 and 90 days. To where you have short floors on used inventory. To when you have used inventory, and I'm like, I'm sitting there doing math, and I'm like walking out of a dealership. I look at Dre, and I go, if I did my math right, they're not going to be here in probably another 60 days. About 45 days later, they were boarded up, closed up.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's what trying to maintain looks like.
Correct. You have to push through. I mean, you have to change your formulas and adapt with what the economy is doing and stuff, and ride on the highs with the highs and the lows with the lows. But you hit it dead on, it turns. I mean, if you have stale inventory, you're just going to tank it.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's a stock is what I've grew up on. So every individual stock, you selling the highs, selling the lows, and you got to play the whole market. You never know where it's at. Some days you dip, some days you fly.
And that's the other thing that I feel like you understand it well, that there's so many people that get into a retail market space and they think you win on everything.
Oh, God.
And it's like, I'd be selling cars and I'm like losing $4,000 on a truck because it's aged out on me. And I'm like, we're paying interest on these trucks every single day.
Yep.
And people don't understand that you're going to sit there and you just keep getting hosed on it day over day. And it's like, then the truck sits there and the battery dies. You got to put a battery in it. And then it's like, inventory sits, things start happening.
Yep.
And it's like, that would be taking place. And then you have some jackwagon that comes in that's making you offer that's $5,000 less. And they're like, well, I looked at Cars Guru and you have this. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what, dude? I was just trying to catch a trade or something and just save my ass a little bit on it. Yep. But I'd rather take it to the auction and sell it to some asshole anyway. So, and you would sit there and I'm like, they think that you're making $10,000 in every vehicle.
Oh, I love those guys.
Or you have the person that comes in, they're like, I spent $50,000 with you. I go, you think I got that truck for free? Yeah. They just
pure profit for me.
They just give them to us. We just make $50,000 when we sell a $50,000 truck. That makes total sense.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Every day. That's why I tell people all the time, and I've heard you say it when this, but I'm not the cheapest, I'm not the most expensive, but I'll give you good treatment and I'll always be here for you. But the guy that's trying to knock everyone's head off, or the guy that's trying to give everything away and make a name, never works. And you always see those dealers, they either get bought out, sold, or they have to get more business partners that understand turning.
Yeah.
I mean, no one understands that. So
racing to the bottom is a race you don't want to be in.
Correct.
And you can offer, like, look at what Rolls-Royce is. Rolls-Royce does not sell cars. They sell luxury and they sell status.
Oh, yeah.
But they understood to market something different.
Yep.
And a Rolls-Royce is going to get you A to B just like a Honda Civic.
Oh, yeah.
One is a premium product, one is not. To where it's like, that's the thing is, like, when you look at any product, any service that's out there, there's going to be different levels of it. But like, we have people that will come in, will bid an account at $10,000. And they're like, so-and-so said they do it for $600.
Well, go do it.
Yeah. I go, well, yeah, if they do everything that we're doing for $600, I'll hire them. I'll contract everything to them. I go, but it's not the same.
No.
Like,
quality of work is one thing.
And trying to compare the two isn't that's
apples and oranges.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, what was it? Lamborghini said it a while ago. Everyone goes, why is Lamborghini successful? They don't have advertising. Well, the people that they're advertising to isn't the person that is sitting at a computer, a phone all day, or behind a television. They're the people that are out there interacting and doing things with people. So if your friend has a Lambo, you're going to want a Lambo. It's the whole one-up game that they play. And it's successful for them.
They also made like one of the coolest looking cars on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that helps.
I still like McLaren overall, but, that's just me.
See,
I'll own one day.
I think I'm going to skip all the supercars. My overall goal is the rolls.
The rolls?
I don't think I need the fast car. I think all it's going to do is get me in trouble.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm old enough for that luxury feel yet. I feel like you're a little bit of an old soul, so it makes sense.
If you have a Rolls Royce, someone has to drive it for you. But if I had a Rolls Royce, I would want to drive it.
So I would want to drive. Like, I feel like
that's what I'm saying. You want to drive it, he gets riding it.
So like,
well, I mean,
I want one just like so murdered out that when I roll up somewhere in jeans, cowboy boots, and a t-shirt, and I get out and a hat on, people are going, The fuck does that dude get? What does he do?
The country singer. Just immediately, you just like hit the country.
That's
I was
actually-
like country singer. I was like,
That is
you
probably
just hit
the thing that would make the most sense. Would probably be that.
They're like,
But-
what do you sing? What do you do? Be like, marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Marketing.
Sing marketing.
Sing marketing.
You could be the first country DJ, unless maybe that's a thing, but I haven't came across any.
That is my
Oh, wow.
hidden talent.
I don't know. Your
DJ?
name's not very country though.
Yeah.
Black Rhino.
DJ Black
Yeah,
Rhino's
that's true.
much
Might have to
better.
get a little country twist to it though.
Yeah. DJ Country Rhino.
There-
I
you
got
go.
a spinoff. See?
I could be a rhino with so I told him a
Yeah,
long time
wow.
ago, like, so I have surround sound in here, and when we have parties in here, I enjoy DJing, and like I did in college, like just with a crowd of people, like at parties and things like that. But I was told him I thought the coolest thing was like Marshmallow. Like for the longest
Oh,
time,
yeah.
nobody knew who he was. So I'm assuming he lives in LA. Think about this dude that just lives on the block in like his $30 million crib, and everyone. I'm assuming he's probably like in his 20s, and people are like, "Who is this guy?" Like, so I was gonna be DJ Black Rhino, where I dress in like a full tuxedo with a black rhino head, and just nobody knew who I was, and then they'd be like, "Same kind of deal." People.
I would think you were at Wakanda. Be like, you came from Wakanda.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my hidden talent.
There you go. All right,
So-
we're gonna hire you then. We're gonna do a Saturday party. You're
Yeah.
gonna come DJ.
There we go.
Oh
See?
yeah.
Do you want the black rhino or the country rhino?
I was saying,
There's
I don't know.
choices here.
One's an alter ego. Just depends on if I'm drinking vodka or whiskey.
Two-Face. Got it.
Yeah. But
So, what are some of the biggest lessons that you feel like you've learned personally throughout your power sports dealership journey?
I would probably say, and this is more of a life lesson on anything, is treating everyone, whether they're homeless looking to rich, all the same throughout the entire sales process, which is the hardest thing for a salesperson, because when you're in sales, you pre-qualify everyone. Like right off the bat, they can buy, they can't buy, and then your whole attitude changes.
Mm-hmm.
So how you treat the customer and what you do, but no one understands that even a person that has the 380 credit score, if you treat them nice, when they have the money or capability of buying, they remember who treated them well and come back and buy. And not only that, but your laws of average of you treat one person like shit, they're going to tell 7 not to come, but you treat one person great, 4 come, and then those 4 will grow, and you try to weed down your 7 on the back. So that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned. All the other stuff is just basically learning the economics of a dealership and how it functions, which goes back to everyone in the perception of when you do it for a living, you're educating people of what your business is. So like, I don't know anything about marketing. Me, I just think you take pictures, put it online, you post it, but there's an art to it. You guys have just demonstrated that perfectly through all of the stuff. It's the same thing on our side though. Like when the market shifts and changes, people get mad and upset with trades all the time, but they don't understand where the market's at.
they think
just
you buy something for $5,000 and you sell it for 10. Like they're just knocking it home every single. That's
Correct.
most people what they think of like how buying and selling works.
Oh yeah, but
It-
I'll tell you, on average, 10% markup is like ideal. If you can make 10% on your money and roll, that's good. I'll tell you, in the last few deals, I've probably lost $6-7 grand just to get lot rod, is what we call it, out.
All right, I like that.
I mean,
his,
it is.
His sounds a lot worse than what we called it, but
But I mean, it is. I mean, it sits around, and in our side of stuff, and I don't know if it was in the cars, but when you have dollies moving around and everything in the warehouse, if something gets hit, an average cost to fix something like a panel or whatever, $700 like that.
Yeah.
And you can't not sell it new. And even if you discount it, they want the discount plus the fix. So
Yeah.
and
see,
I mean,
we probably had a lot more high dollar service work than
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys run, because like we'd buy a car with 10,000 miles, like, and I'm buying, I don't know, 15 to 20 cars on any given day, and I'm going to sell like 3 days a week, and I would come back and I buy a car that has next to no miles, it's brand new, and it goes into service like, oh yeah, it's got 2 tires that are messed up and needs brakes on the
oh
this.
yeah,
Oil change, battery didn't test out fully, and I'm like,
I love
What did
service
they
shops.
do to this?
I'm like,
yeah.
oh great, I got $1,100 service bill on a brand new fucking car. I'm like,
Yeah, you feel special when you bought it, and then it goes through service. And
Yeah.
I love my guys back there, I really do. But every time, send a bike back there, just like you said, I think you're spending $400. $4,000 later, well, I just rebuilt everything.
Yeah. And that just comes with like service. Like we had a very fine, like detailed list that they would go through.
21 point inspections.
And sometimes it probably costs us a lot more. That does a battery, how many batteries are going to test out 100% all the time?
0.
Yeah. So it's like they were putting batteries in pretty much everything.
But at the same time, your reputation is good.
I
Because
think it saves a headache later on.
Correct.
I mean,
sometimes doing the right thing, well, it's integrity. Doing the right thing when no one's looking or knowing that it's going to better you going down the road. I mean, I'd rather not screw a customer and make sure they're happy than have a bad taste and then go, well, I bought one, but I'll never be back. I'd rather have the loyalty to keep coming back. And I mean, some customers aren't your forte. And I've told people that. I'm like, you're just not my customer. Like, you can buy parts here, but I mean, at this point, you're going to cost me more money. Or the JD Power thing with surveys. It's horrible. I mean, you lose marketing money and all that stuff with surveys these days. Like, no one understands that if you don't get a perfect survey, you're host. You get a 9 on it, 90%, it's good, right? You got to maintain that 100% with all manufacturers now. And
some people
absurd.
will not give like 100%.
Yeah.
So dealership I was at, there were some instances that we would have to be like, well, we could do everything right. And we know that dude is not going to give us a good survey.
Correct.
So somebody makes an email account and it gets handled. But that's the situation you're in is like some people, just like the review thing, some people just aren't going to ever give good feedback on anything. Like you could do everything right. And they're like, well, it could have been better.
I would
probably a
I would
3 out of
always
5.
walk out and every single customer that left, they would get their photo taken with their car up front.
Yep.
And we'd post them on social media. And they signed a deal when they were in finance to say that it was okay for us to use it for marketing purposes. We would go out and I would give them one of my cards and I would always tell them, I'm like, hey, we're always trying to grow. We're trying to increase our service and really change the way that used cars are sold. That was what our motto was. And I'm like, and we strive for it every single day. If there's anything that you think we can change, anything like that, feel free to reach out, give me your feedback. And reviews always help us a lot. You and I both know in the car space that people shop on reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And that actually changed our reviews more than anything because people would leave a 5-star and then they would send me a text about this, and this of what we need to work on.
Oh, yeah.
Which I appreciate that. And I would call them. I would thank them. I'd send them a thank you card for the feedback that helps us out. But it was like, there were some people that would just leave a 4-star and I would call them like, hey, this is Dane up here at TDR. Like I saw that you had a 4-star. What can we do to improve to get to a 5-star in the future? And they'd be like, no one gets a 5-star.
Oh, yeah.
Then there would be no room for improvement.
Yeah.
I'm like, shut up. Like it would just, it irritates
You can't
you.
rationalize with people that aren't rational.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got an entire guy that literally, we do the sale. The next day, he gets the list of everything we sold, and it's courtesy call. Like, what do you need? What can we do? Can we schedule your first service? All that. And his whole job is follow up. That's it. He's on the phone constantly, and it's amazing on how many people you'll do walkarounds like on cars or bikes. They don't retain anything, and then
No.
they think you're horrible. And it's like, we'll bring it back and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I don't have time. And I'm like, well, how's this our? Oh, I'm so confused. Like, just
Yeah.
go.
So, yeah, and I think in the space that you're in, I think in the retail space, customer service is huge. And also understanding that not everyone understands our industry like we do,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of car guys do it. They get to where you're selling 150, 200 cars in a month. Like I had 100 cars being wholesale. We had 100 plus cars being retail. I had 200 plus keys coming across my desk a month.
Oh, yeah.
They were metal and numbers on a spreadsheet to me.
Correct.
I could give a rat's ass about cars. Like, and it really kind of like ruined me for a long time. Like, I just don't care about cars like most people do anymore.
Yep.
Just because that's how they ran. Like, when I had spreadsheets of every single car when it was bought, what clean trade is, what rough trade is, what MMR is, like, and I would sit there and I just lived in these spreadsheets all the time. And it was how I can move the numbers around and make them all work on like,
Fucking Rain Man.
but that's literally what you did all day. And it was like, okay, that car, like after I get a service ticket on it, like based off marketplace, everything, Like you're running all these numbers. If that car is going into wholesale, what cars need to go auction every day, just so much that went into it. And you kind of lose touch when somebody is buying a car that's their second largest investment.
Oh yeah.
And to you, you're like, it's lot rot. I need the motherfucker out here. Like,
Yeah,
get it
it
out.
is.
Like you're
It's just a statistic and a number.
Yeah,
And everyone's
exactly.
like, I need this. And it's like, yep, you do. Like,
Yeah.
I got to get it gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we have daily bucket meetings in the morning. I'm like, all right, guys, if you sell this, I'm going to give you $300. Get it gone.
Yeah.
And literally, the guys will walk out and just start dialing. They're like, I got it. I'm like, all right, get it.
Yeah. It's like you're spiffing old units and
Oh, yeah.
you're getting things gone. And it's crazy when like that's how your life is running and operating every day. And then somebody's coming in and you're like, yeah, just sign this. Not even at $250 a month. That's easy. I just signed a dude up with $1,300 a month
yeah.
earlier. Like, but everyone's castle is a different size.
Correct.
And
That's a good thing about my thing. I love what I do. So every time something new comes out, like I'll tell you, when we get the R, you guys got to come down because we're just going to go terrorize Martin City. That's what I do when the Maverick first came out. So.
perfect. Fine. I'll come down for that one.
Oh yeah. So, but like anytime stuff comes out and it's new, like the car industry, they don't let their guys go out and experience it. Us, we're like, screw it. Let's go grab 30-pack of beer. Let's go do this. Everyone sign the demo waiver, please. But we go out and have fun, and that's the whole point of it. Like, I don't think I could do cars. I could probably do it, but I'd be Rain Man on a spreadsheet.
Which cars are fun, and cars, when the car space, if you work at it, I'm going to say, like, to me, I didn't find the car space that challenging. And in the fact that the car space is pretty weak across the board.
Well, Kansas City has probably the strongest market because there's so many dealers on top of each other.
There's so many dealers here, but like realistically, you go meet a lot of car dealers. Like I have a group of guys that I still stay connected with, that I'm friends with, but you have a lot of GMs and sales managers and stuff that really finesse some people into getting some jobs that they are unqualified for.
They shouldn't be there.
But like
Like my buddy needs a job. He just lost his at like an IT place and has no sales experience.
yeah,
Yeah, that's horrible.
but
Let's
it's
give
like,
him a shot.
you go meet some of these GMs and like they don't know the first thing about the car business.
Oh yeah.
And they're trying to run a full dealership, and the owner's like, well, they're not going to do it. Like, and they're like, I built this huge store. Like, I'm not going to sit there and run 3 managers and do all this. And it's like, they don't understand how even purchasing a car works.
Yeah. It's
like, the whole thing just gets so out of whack that like, I thought when I say market share is wide open in the marketing space, the market share is still very wide open in the automotive space. Like,
oh yeah.
and it all also depends on what you're selling. People are so infatuated with selling items that in today's world, selling people works better.
Oh yeah. You have
Selling-
to sell yourself.
Selling yourself and selling personalities in our market today, that I talk about it all the time. The guy I buy my trucks through. I buy my trucks with the same guy all the time, and I never negotiate with him.
That's good. Those are the relationships that are perfect.
But
I mean, the dirt bike guy that we were just talking about.
yep,
He's bought 70 bikes from us.
Mhm.
Never bats an eye. Doesn't even ask. Comes in, signs, walks out.
he
takes
trusts
it.
you guys.
Oh yeah.
Those are the type of people that there's people out there that'll do that. But how many people are out there, same person trying to buy a truck, that they don't trust anyone in the car space?
Oh yeah.
Become that person that they trust.
Correct.
I still help broker probably 10 car deals a month. I've been out of the car space for 3+ years. But it's still people that bought cars from me, that trust me, that understand that I'm not going to do something that would jeopardize them in the wrong.
Lead them down the wrong path.
So it's like they're right out the gate. They're like, okay, whatever you say, like, and I'll tell them, I'm like, hey, go to this guy. You're not negotiating with him. If I help someone out in the car space and they go to someone that I respect, they go try to negotiate and treat them like a car dealer, I will never help that person again buying a car.
Oh yeah. I'm the same way.
And
Like referrals are everything. So if you mistreat a referral, it not only messes up the person buying, but it also messes up the relationship that you had with the other guy.
Yep.
Because if they come back to him and say, dude, your guy's an asshole,
Yeah.
or no, I liked him. That's networking basically.
Mhm.
When I was in sales, I never had to get out of my desk. I just pick up the phone, call someone, and that's what it is. So
yeah. And that's like if I sent somebody to you to go buy new Can-Am.
Oh,
And they come in and they're just like the worst client ever. And they think because you know me that they're going to get $5,000 off and this and that and fucking free this. And then you go through this whole entire thing. And then you call me afterwards. You're like, dude, this guy sucks.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to think less of me because I even sent the guy you're with.
Yep.
To where it's like, I never want that like towards
Oh, yeah.
I've had some people that I'm like, hey, I know it's kind of a hard deal, whatever. And I'll call the person. I'm like, do you want me to send them your way?
Oh, yeah.
They'll say
the
yes
heads
or no.
up's the courtesy thing.
Yeah.
Because no one's perfect. And I have people that like family. That's the worst one. Like I hate selling to family. They think you owe them everything, but that's horrible.
Your family's the one that thinks you got that $50,000 truck for free.
Oh yeah, it's it's bad.
Yeah.
So, but it's also a good thing. I mean, it grows as a person. So I mean, helping friends out, like getting you guys, helping anyone that needs marketing, sharing your name, all that stuff. The networking is where it's at of every business. Elon Musk said it. Instead of throwing baby showers, they should throw business showers and everyone share their contact information. Like, hey, I got a guy in videographer. Here's his name if you guys need help. Versus, good job, you have business.
Yeah.
Because that's all that ever happens. I
Yeah.
mean, I got a buddy that started a microgreen business, created an Instagram and everything, and no one supports him out of our friend group. And I'm like, well, you didn't tell anyone he had an Instagram.
Yeah.
Until last night, and then we added them, and I was like, "We'll boost the shit out of this." But everything's networking. So, I mean, cars doesn't matter if you're selling planes, trains, cars, spaceships. Everything's the same. Sales process is the same. You sell yourself, sell the dealership. You're not really. They already know what they want. Everyone's online researching and doing stuff. You're just trying to be a friend.
And I think also when you have these networks of people, but everyone thinks there can't be more than one person in one industry in an area, which
That's so false.
I look at, there's enough success for everyone.
Correct.
And I remember one time I was going to be a part of like a B&I group or whatever. This was earlier MMG days. I show up to this deal and they're like, oh, well, there's a marketing lady here. So we don't. And the president or whatever, like they like stop me at the door like I'm there to like shoot the place up or something. Like they're like freaking out. I'm like, what is going on? I was like super like, I'm like, this is probably the weirdest encounter I've had since I've been in business. And these people are all thinking like this is like and they're like, well, you're gonna have to come with us and we'll go talk to her and we'll see if she'll let you be here.
What?
I go, okay. And so I walk over there. I have like they make sure you bring business cards with you.
Oh, yeah.
And we have like plastic, like credit card, business cards, like everything. We come to this table and the lady's like, yeah, I'm not comfortable with him being here. And I was like, for real? And she goes, yeah, you're in marketing. I'm like, it's you and your husband. I go, you guys don't have cameras. I was like, you guys do SEO. I'm like, I don't even really mess with SEO. I'm
a
like,
lot of flip phone.
and I told her, I'm like,
Content.
I go, quite frankly, between you and I was like, we don't do the same thing, even close.
Yeah.
And she goes, the last thing that you showed up to, there was 4 businesses there and you got 3 of the 4. I go, did you get the 4th? She's like, no. I go, oh, my bad. And then I was like, and then all these people, they're like, so what do you do? Like all the people sitting around, I was like, hey, here's some business cards. Feel free to reach out. I'm like, I guess I'm not wanted here, so I'll leave.
Bad publicity is good publicity. I'm just saying any publicity is good.
But it was just like the weirdest interaction that I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with her being here. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
but it's.
My mentor always told me that if good competition is around you, your market gets stronger as well. Because like when Yamaha was around, we were like the only standalone Yamaha dealership. There was nothing really north of us there's one north of us, but we won't say names. But another one came up in like the Lake Viking area. And everyone was like, oh, are you going to be super mad that they're up there? And I'm like, no, that's actually good because now if I sell one into their market, there's a service center up there so they don't feel like they're trapped to drive all the way back down to Kansas City. And it actually made everyone grow. And it helps everyone out, but no one sees it that way. They just see it as, I lost market share. I'm like, no, I gained market share. Like, it's going to be harder, but at the same time, that just means I have to level up as a person. The whole dealership does. But everyone takes it as, I'm screwed. I'm going to sell less units. We've sold more. Our business has grown tremendously, but we never took anything as a negative. Like, we have a new Can-Am dealer that just popped up in our backyard. I've sold more side-by-sides than we've ever sold in the last 6 years. Everyone thought it was going to hurt, and it helped. But it's just perspective.
Yeah. So I'm always impressed with people's perspective on when they look at things differently, when you have that, I'm going to say, that lens to look at that positive vision all the time. Where do you think you got that in life? Because I feel like it's a pretty rare trait in today's world.
Probably my grandpa, to be honest, because my grandpa grew up, basically my dad was never around. He's a piece of shit. Hi, Dad. But basically, I didn't have a fatherly figure growing up. The owner of our store before he passed away was my fatherly figure. And he always said, and basically, there's no win situations, but you can always win. You just got to find the silver lining. Even if you're down in the dumps and whatever, there's a lesson to be learned in everything. If you can't find it, that just means your emotions are over. And everyone knows that emotions get the best of you. But if you can think rationally with no emotions, you can come out clean on top. No one understands that. So take, for instance, the dog trips you and you're mad at the dog. But what made the dog trip you? Did you ever think of that? Did you think maybe there was something running around, or maybe he was trying to get you from not falling because you were drunk? But everyone's mad because the dog tripped you. There's a silver lining. Little things like that. My grandpa grew up saying, it is what you make it. So when everyone's running around going, poor me, poor me, poor me, or why does Ricky have a new truck and getting a new house, and why do you get to start a company? Why can't I do it? You never think that you had hard times. You had hard times. Like, no one knows your background story. So why put that out there? Why not just go, hey, how did you do that? And let me mimic off you and level up again. But no one understands that. Everyone just, like me getting a new truck. This is the worst thing ever. All my guys at work have been saying I'm going to get a new truck for over 4 years. It finally happened. So everyone was very shocked. They thought it was like a demo and it was like a prank. But I ended
Still
up getting
demoing it.
Oh, yeah, to this day. But I ended up getting a new one, and there was 50% of people, including my own family, which was dumbfounding to me, that said, you're just a rich, snobby brat, all this stuff, whatever. You don't deserve it. You're just flashing your money. Well, if you knew what I drove a 2008 GMC Sierra. That was a shit box. I mean, that thing had rust. We all were wondering when the fender flare was going to come flying off. But I never wanted to flash my money, but I knew what truck I wanted when my truck finally blew up. The other side of the people were like, way overdue. Finally, you got one. Congratulations. And the appreciative. But then when I started thinking about it, and this is going to sound bad, sorry to everyone, where they're at in life, they're just sitting here in a stale, and everyone else that was congratulating me was on the uprise as well. So it's headspace.
It's like that story of the crabs in the bucket. And the crabs will try to pull each other down because they don't want the other one to get out of the bucket.
Correct. So, but that's where it's at. And there's always a silver lining. Suits is really good. If you ever watch Suits, did you guys watch Suits?
Yeah.
Harvey Specter, no win situation. Like his quotes, if like
there's a
no
gun
one
point out,
ever,
you just got to figure out how to point it away from you.
Or pull out a bigger one. Change the rules. There is no end to anything. It's your mindset. It's just like taking cold showers, they say, helps for mental awareness and toughness and all that stuff. It's mind over matter. Everything is. Quitting smoking.
So I take cold showers in the morning, and I will tell you what, they're a bitch because in the morning, the last thing you want to do, and they try to say that there's some like actual like physical benefits of it. I don't think I've seen any of those. But when you're standing at a shower and it's ice cold and you can just grab that knob and turn it over, that is a serious mental fight that you're about to take on. Oh, yeah. That you're like, this is not going to be fun. But it's like, once you start overcoming those things, it's crazy how much you train your mind on little things like that.
Correct.
That everyone thinks they have to train their mind on something like big.
Oh, yeah.
That's some like huge thing that they're overcoming. Overcome those really small things, and your mind starts teaching itself to do that all the time.
Yep. That's the mental game that they're saying. And of course, there's something about blood flow and all that. But I don't worry about that part.
It's more just a mental fight about. That's what I'm getting from it.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. So, and there's some mornings that I don't win that mental fight. I'm not going to say I win it every single morning. There's some mornings that I wake up and it's just like, it's a morning and I'm like, and I almost like regret it. Like when I'm driving to work.
Yeah.
Like it's like weird. Like I'll be driving to work. And I'm like disappointed in myself. I was like, you weren't strong enough to do that this morning.
Pussy.
So
It is.
I've made the decision because I would have that same deal. It's like, oh, did I take a cold shower this morning or did I just take a regular shower? I've just made the decision. If I shower in the morning, it's just cold. Like it's just non-negotiable. Is what it is. And then second shower later in the day, warm water. So, you really get clean. Because if anybody's like just taking cold showers, they're probably not getting that clean.
I will say I stay in it long enough that I do a full shower.
Yeah.
And washing your hair, pretty difficult. When you start washing,
that's definitely the worst part.
that's like normal when you start. Like I start topping
water running back down the back of your neck. That's
the water hitting your back's the hardest part. Like, and once you like get in there, and then I stay in there long enough till I can control my breathing. That is like, and the thing is, after you get to that point, the shower doesn't feel that cold anymore.
You guys should just get a cryo chamber down at the shop.
Yeah, for real. Like I've done cryo, I've done those things, and I very much I wish I had a cryo chamber. That'd be sick. But there's something about just that idea that you can just change the water.
It's your control.
It is. You have the control
factor.
You have the control to change it, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can, but it's what's that mental fight look like that you're taking on?
I'm a baby. Yeah.
But no, I think we got sneezes from the peanut gallery over there. But no, I think very much so, like even in suits, like Harvey, the way he looks at things, and there is a different way out of everything that you do. And I always look at everything as win, fail, whatever you're doing, there's opportunities in front of you. And if you're failing at something, or I don't know if failing is the word.
Failure, in my opinion, isn't failure. It's
No,
just
a
you
learning
found a
opportunity.
way of not to do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm very good at making a mistake once, but I'll never make it again. And I've made some big mistakes. I mean, I'll tell you, I've been arrested. I've been in jail. But I've never made the mistake again.
Yeah.
But failure, when people say I failed, you just found a way of not doing it. Turn around and go do it again. And that's part of motivation. If you really want it, you're going to get it.
So our dad always told us, and it took me a really long time to understand what he was actually telling me. For the longest time, just went in one ear, out the other, was he would tell Dre and I all the time, like when we became managers in the car space, he's like, lack of execution to lack of knowledge.
Correct.
I was like, what the fuck is he saying? I'm like, Dad don't know what he's talking about. And as I progressed, I knew exactly what he was talking about. Like I'd have sales guys that were new that would just flip out on early in management, just poor management skills. And they had a lack of knowledge. They didn't know what to do.
It's called meeting them there. That's what we call it.
So it's like where I would get upset in the future, and like I won't get upset with somebody in MMG for a lack of knowledge.
Correct.
Lack of execution. If they know what to do and they still make the mistake over again, then you didn't learn the first time. And it's like, then I have a problem there. So it's like, it's two different forefronts that you're taking on. It's where it's when people are new, they need to be educated. And I think a lot of companies struggle with that side.
Well, a lot of people just think that I've given you, this is what's horrible. I've given you a book or I've given you a login to a training seminar. It doesn't, people don't learn all the same. I mean, I'm not book smart at all. Like you physically have to show me how to do it. But once you show me, I can duplicate it. But if you tell me to read it, I'll read it 9 times and be like, I don't fucking get it. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then they'll show me and I'm like, oh, and I feel like fucking stupid. Like, all right. But it's meeting people where they're at. And that's the hard part is do you have the 90, do you know what 90-day know-it-alls are? Have you guys heard that terminology?
When somebody's in sales for 90 days, then they think that they're the best salesperson on the planet.
Can't teach them anything.
Nope.
Correct.
They've been doing this 3 months.
But the funny thing is the first 90 days, they listen to exactly what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
And they absolutely kill it. And then they just go rogue.
Correct. So that's what I was getting at is you can train some people and then they relapse. So you have to retrain, which is what we call meeting them back to where they're at because we know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone does it. And they probably do it in your industry going, oh, I can do this. I can do that.
I probably did it the worst. I was probably the worst. When I started, I was 18 years old. My dad had put me through more sales training than probably any human being should go through. And when I started, I had like every word track I thought I needed and everything. And the sales manager was like, this is what you're going to do. And I had sales manager's name was Shane. And I remember I get the first Foursquare. He's like, you go out there. He goes, you present the number.
I totally forgot about those.
OG days. And I'm 18 years old, and I'm like, I just turned 18 the day before, and I go out on the sales floor, and I come in. I'm wearing like slacks and button up. I'm like, I'm like so pumped. I'm like, I'm gonna make so much money. And he goes, go out, present this. He goes, shut the fuck up. He goes, if I hear you say a word after you present that before they say a word, he goes, you're fired right now.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is my first day. I'm like, I'm going to get fired if I go out there. I present all these numbers. I sit there. And I remember I saw an 07 green F-150. I remember like it was yesterday. I'm sitting there and the truck's sitting right in front of the desk. And I'm like, and the guy's not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
it's the awkward turtle, man.
I go, oh my God, we're priced too high. I was like, he told me he wanted $8,000 for his trade. I just hit him at 5. I was like, he's gonna flip out. I go, he said he wanted $250 payment. We're like $400. I was sitting there just like nervous as all get out. The guy's like, yeah, I think this will work. After,
yep.
And it felt like I sat there for a day.
And you only sat there for about 10 seconds, probably.
Yeah. And I go back in. He goes, you know what? You might be all right at this. Yeah. I go, I don't feel like I did anything.
It's the art of negotiating. First one to talk loses.
Yeah.
Man, sometimes you're in that sales tower and you get the Foursquare though, and you got to give yourself a minute. You're like, oh,
my sales guy.
That's not even close.
That was the hardest part for me.
You're like
everything was wrong. I'm like, wrong, God. I'm like, I don't think
the best part is when you got to load their lips and be like, go out there and tell them I got good news.
Yeah.
We're only $40,000 apart.
Yeah, we're right there.
Yeah.
Good news. We have 3 options.
Yeah.
Take your pick.
Oh.
So what I started doing was I would look at them and I would assume things in my head. So I finally I told the sales manager, I'm like, I don't even want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I would just walk out there. I'd pop it up.
whoa. This is news to me, too.
This can't be
I don't even see this.
This has
It's
to
a
be somebody
genuine
else's
reaction.
Yeah.
They don't know if you're sad or like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, this is good. This is really good.
So this will give you a good kick. So Darren, one of my sales guys, had this dude bought a side-by-side from a buddy, wanted to sell it today. And I don't know, out of the blue, he said it was like $28,000 or something like that. We looked up the book and the book was like 10. We couldn't figure out what was going on. He goes, what are you going to give me for it? And I was like, you promise not to punch me in the face? He was like, well, I'm not there, but I might drive down there. And I was like, well, okay. We told him, he actually drove down and he was like, no, I'll take it. I was like, what?
I think most of the time people just throw out like astronomical numbers. And like, I even do it when I'm trading my trucks. He's like, what do you really want for it? I'm like, I mean, 80 would be cool. And he's like, we're at 72. I'm like, that'll work. I'll take it. It's like, I think it's worth like 70, but.
Well, then it's true. If they're talking, they're lying.
100%.
You just validated that.
I mean, you can't even do it even when you know that you're doing it.
I know, but you just validated it because you're in the industry and you just said that. So,
but it's like I mean, you try to bring someone's thinking up. Like,
it's a little price anchor.
It is. You're price anchoring someone. And it was, when I first got into learning the sales side, the amount of knowledge I learned in the first 90 days.
It's a lot.
Is a lot. And then when you're listening.
Did you guys learn the road to the sale?
So we had like our dealership was like, we built it as like a dealership in a box. So we had our whole entire, like we had a guest assessment. Like we had a process of like how we did the whole thing. I don't know if, or is like the road to a sale like a book or something?
It's actually a book. Yeah.
I have not read that.
So is it a 10-step process?
So there's 5-step, 7-step, and 10-step. But basically it's like meet and greet, the investigation, the walk around, the presentation, the demo, the trade-in, the negotiating, the pricing, the financing. And then
so I think whoever created our dealership in a box read that book because that was exactly what we did.
Yeah. They call it the road to the sale. And it's actually, no matter what you do, what you sell, and how you do it, the first 4 are like the most crucial.
Oh, yeah.
But if you don't follow it, which is really weird, of course, we've played with this stuff. You can go from 1 to 5 real quick, but totally forget the repour session of it. Now, I've been watching some videos lately because COVID's kind of switched the whole sales process, which no one understands it anymore. Like, the repour isn't really there because everyone kind of knows what's going, but what you're trying to do is find common ground in someone that you like and interested in. So basically, if I think you're a sleaze, I'm going to go to Dalton and go, okay, I jive better.
He too is a sleaze. So.
Yeah.
Less
But
of a sleaze.
That's where the sales process
Yeah.
gone to. And it's not so much about product knowledge anymore. Like, a lot of people come in and they're like, does it have front brakes? Yeah. Cool, I'll take it. And it's like, what?
Like, did you think
Like,
it's
That's all you need.
know.
Front brakes.
And
That's
there's so easy to access information now that I would assume a lot of consumers are like me. I've already watched 10 videos on whatever. It could be a small purchase. I've already watched videos on. It's like, I know what I want. That's not the problem. It's
He's
where
getting
you
really
get it
close to
from.
purchasing a Vespa.
Dude,
I have like 5 more videos. I'm getting that Vespa with the white on white flames.
it's the Bieber edition, man.
The Bieber edition. I got the
It's
fever.
hard to believe that.
We
that
almost went
comes-
out and bought a Belieber sign just to like put with
I,
it.
that might be the move.
For me, it's kind of hard to believe that an Aprilia and a Vespa comes from the same company. Like,
Yeah, it
like,
really
what?
is, but you know.
They're coming off the line one after another, bud.
dude,
I
Oh,
think,
dude, they
Vespa,
do. Like, I cannot believe it. Like, during COVID, they were the only manufacturer to not stop. Like, I don't understand. They had thousands of parts. Like, I'm like, I need these bikes. Oh, it's going to take 6 months. All right, well, I need like 6 Vespas. Cool. They show up like the next day, and I'm like, where the fuck these things come
yeah,
from?
they just had them sitting in a warehouse. Right
Oh, yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Like,
We knew
jokes
we-
on you guys. We already had an extra million Vespas sitting out there.
We knew
Oh,
you were
yeah. They
gonna
just
want them.
take
We
off the
had 'em
VIN
close to
stickers
you.
and just keep replacing them. It's funny because like they have a collab right now with Mickey Mouse. So there's a Mickey Mouse.
Oh,
scooter.
wow.
Oh, good.
We just got one in the other
I
day.
think Logan needs that.
It goes 50 miles an hour, man.
That's,
Dude, Logan
that's Holland.
comes in with like a little Mickey Mouse helmet on.
He has the ears.
You know what? Logan's gonna
Zipping
be,
in those Vespa.
Logan's gonna be hauling ass on I-35 right past you on the curb in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, "What construction?"
Construction who?
I think I'm probably taking an Aprilia over a Vespa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I know, bold choice, but
Yeah. I think he's more of a, what was it, thing that you were riding around on?
oh, the Riker?
Yeah, I think he's more of a Riker guy.
I don't know. Those things are pretty fun.
If they
I
would do
mean,
like a 1200.
well, that would be the F3, their 1300s.
Oh.
And it's an
Is that
XS
a-
up. And
wait, is
if you
that a
get the S
Spider or-
model, yeah.
A Riker.
So the Rikers, they're baby model, I guess,
Yeah.
and they're like 900s, but they make another step up that's called the F3. And you can make like the F3S, you can actually turn the traction control off, and it's a 1300 cc.
That
I mean-
sounds fun.
See,
Oh, yeah.
they gave you the wrong one.
So I feel like though,
Well, that's because Can-Am had this whole rally thing going on.
what I do
Now,
think,
he could have taken it off road. We did give him the rally model.
I do think the Riker is a phenomenal, like if it's somebody's first motorcycle,
Yes.
which I believe is
Did you
kind of how
just say
that's
we could take it
positioned.
off road and you didn't tell us that?
I didn't take it off road.
Next time when they give us something to test out, text
Oh, yeah.
me if we can take it off road.
Oh, yeah.
Text the
it's
details.
pretty well endless. I mean,
Cool.
we'll go to the lake. Like, I'm taking all my sales guys to the lake, I think next week before we leave town. They've never been on the Sea-Doo Switch, so
Oh yeah,
we're just going to
Nice.
take them out and we're going to see who can wakeboard and who can't.
nice.
I think
There we
only
go.
one of them actually knows how.
that'll
Watch
be
the
good.
rest of them just. It'll be fun.
What
Yes,
were you saying, Ricky?
Jackson's the only one that can wakeboard.
It's actually Darren.
Okay.
I don't think Jackson knows how. We call him the Slender Man.
Yeah.
So
I can see why.
He's
Yeah.
slender.
I can see him being good at wakeboarding.
I could see him being
actually, he's really good at road racing. So we just had a track day. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Heartland Park, Topeka,
yeah.
we sponsor the track days out there. And Jackson goes out, and Shane, our parts manager, is actually a control rider, and they go out there and race and stuff. So Parker's actually
Do they race each other?
Um,
What does that mean?
So basically, Shane will go out with like the novice people and like teach him cornering, how to do things, and then bump them up to the next side.
I
or
gotcha.
if two people are getting into it, he'll break them up. Because like in the advanced class, you can actually like lay on top of each other going around corners, and
Yeah, no, I'm good.
people actually wreck. I mean, we had one guy going over alpha. I mean, he can get up to like mid upper hundreds, like 150ish, and Then you go into Alpha and there's just a corner and this dude just T-boned someone right off the track.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So it's crazy, but it's fun. It's adrenaline pumping.
How often do you do those?
I think there's 12 a year. I think we have a couple more.
Hit us up on one of those. We'll come out. We'll do some filming out there.
Oh, you'll love it.
That'd be fun.
So they got a professional photographer out there. I'll have to show you some of the pictures, but I mean, they have guys laying on top of each other, and it's like 3 wide just going through a corner.
We need
I
to
can't
do video
imagine.
to look like Gran Turismo.
There you go. So a new thing opening up. No one knows about this. I don't know if I'm supposed to say it, so I don't care. But the Flying H Ranch, it's in Raymore. They're opening up an ATV drag park thing, and I think it actually opens up next year.
An ATV?
Side by side ATV, yeah.
Oh.
So there's not a lot of them around because like Adrenaline, they're opened up. They're in Adrian, I think it is.
Yep.
Adrenaline Motorsports. They just opened back up not too long ago.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if Kingsville allows ATVs and side by sides, but
I
they
don't
still
think they
do
do.
dirt bikes still.
Yeah.
And then Grain Valley, of course, but they've been around forever. So
Yeah, so most of all the motocross tracks, like growing up and stuff, they got rid of ATVs and like side-by-sides just tear up a motocross track so quickly.
Well, Merwin used to have their own side by side track. And I don't know what happened to it.
Was it the track up at the top?
So you had the actual track, and then it was like in the lower corner. It was itty bitty.
Because Merwin had like their full-size motocross track, then they had that like supercross track
Yep.
up at the top.
Yeah.
They'd do like night races at.
Yep.
And I knew at one point they were doing like four-wheelers and stuff on that. But
Yep.
then they had that like flat dirt track around it that they would do like
The sprint cars. or
the
whatever.
four-wheeler flat track guys.
I don't think I knew that one.
Yeah. I watched it there like one night.
Oh yeah.
But all right. Towards the end of the podcast, I always have kind of a wrap-up question of if you could go back and tell your 20-year-old self one word of advice, what would that be?
Don't hesitate.
I like that.
When I was 20, I would hesitate at everything because I didn't have money, didn't have anything, was too scared to jump. Peer pressure, that's the other thing. I mean, in your 20s, everyone peer pressures you to do everything, but no one understands the grind. Once you succumb that, you basically are endless. Leave everyone else in the dust, but yeah, don't hesitate. That's
Like
exactly what I would tell myself.
I think a lot of people overthink things to the point where they just never actually take action.
A lot of the time, if you jump, most of the time it's just I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. And then you jump, and then you're like, oh shit, this is a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah.
It's like getting in the cold shower. Like that whole
Yeah.
time you're like hesitating. You just get in and you're like, oh yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it still kind of sucks.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, hesitation. That's where everything's at. Don't hesitate. I mean, you only live once. I'll put it this way. So, I've had 2 of my classmates actually died in this same week. Don't know how, but one of them was a tattoo artist, totally healthy and all that stuff, and just basically never woke up when he went to bed.
Mhm.
And then another one was, which I kind of know what this one is, but he was partying in a basement and went to bed and never woke up. So, but you don't know when you're going to live, when you're going to die, when anything happens. So, I mean, I've watched several friends of mine, they're a little older, but they've died of heart attacks and stuff. So I'm like, at this point, don't hesitate. Just go, live life, have fun. I got a 3-year-old daughter, and we do once a month, we do yes days. I go broke. I absolutely go broke. But I take her out, and basically I'm going to show her the same thing as don't hesitate. If you want something, go get it. So,
That's
start 'em
cool.
young.
Yeah, we all have one story to write, and today we were just talking about optimizing 24 hours and living 24 hours at a time.
Oh, yeah.
That I think a lot of times we just take for granted. We think we just have endless days,
Yep.
and a lot of people just live day over day, just thinking, well, there's another one tomorrow. There's another one tomorrow.
Correct.
That one
Or-
of these days there's not going to be tomorrow.
It's like Ricky
So.
hitting his, Siri, I'll remind myself tomorrow.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I'm just saying.
You keep saying tomorrow.
Exactly.
One of these days, long down the line, you're going to click that tomorrow. That phone's going to go off, and you're not awake anymore.
Correct. So,
So
Yeah.
I like that. Don't hesitate. I think too many people hesitate, and just we talk about ideas and action, and a lot of idea people. There's a lot fewer action people.
Oh, there's probably a lot of books out there that people have wrote. I'll publish it later, or I'll go back to it later, or I'll implement this later. Most of the time, I'll tell you, in leadership in general, it's making the decision and dealing with the repercussions later. Everyone's too scared to just, all right, this is the direction we're going. If you don't like it, get off board or tell me your direction. But no one else is coming up with anything. They're always going, I don't like it. Okay, well, what's your idea? Well, I don't have one. Okay, we're going to go with this one then. Or if everyone just goes, well, we'll just retable and next month we'll come back to it.
So the higher you get paid in life is fully dictated on the size of problems that you can solve.
Correct.
So it's in anything, in any business model, when there's issues that arise, how can you solve those problems? He or she that can solve those problems best is going to get paid the most.
Correct.
And it's like, it took me a long time to realize that in business, that like I would come to my dad with problems without a solution.
Or you think there were problems, but then they would just make you sound dumb. And it's like, do you really have a problem? Or you just want to say it a couple more times to yourself, and then you're going to go, gotcha.
Yeah. And at that point, I didn't realize it, that now like I've implemented at MMG that if you come to me with a problem, you better have the solution too.
I like that. I'm going to do that now at work. All right. Problem, solution.
I'm serious. If you take everyone in and have a meeting and say, if you have a problem, whenever you bring it to me, you better have the solution with it.
Dude, I like that. That'll leave every pressure at work now.
I actually learned that from Corey with CP. Like he said, it was one of the best things he ever implemented in his business. Was he goes, I came in and he goes, I told all the guys, he goes, if you ever come to me with a problem, you better have the solution for it. He goes,
I like that.
Now guys would come to me and they're like, hey, the hose is blown on this dozer or whatever. He goes, I have so-and-so, they can get it picked up over here and they can get it out here and we can have it fixed within 45 minutes.
Hell yeah.
And he's like, all right, get it done. He goes, it used to be they'd just come over like, hose is blown on the dozer, don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's my guys right now. They're like, oh, this is broke, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, did you take it to the shop to get it? I got you. Hold on, I'll be back.
So
Okay, we got a whole half the building is people fixing stuff. They might have a solution.
It's so dumbfounding though. Like, sense of direction.
Mhm.
Everyone doesn't think they're empowered to do something, but I tell people, are you going to stop something that's going 2 miles an hour, or are you going to stop something that's going 100 miles an hour?
Yeah.
If you're going 100 miles an hour, no one's going to stop you until you do something wrong. And if you do something wrong, you stopped yourself, so they don't have to stop you. But if you're doing good intentions and all that stuff, let them run.
Yeah.
Give them free reign.
Which I think that's the kind of leadership that people need also, that you can have those guys that you're going to start finding out that it's like, hey, you know what? He can solve a lot of problems and
Correct.
does a great job doing it and alleviates a lot of stress off my shoulders. And it's like,
Oh, yeah.
give him a little bit more reins.
Yep.
So
No, that's awesome.
a lot of great insights. We really, really appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Appreciate being here.
I think we could probably sit here and talk for hours.
Oh, yeah.
It's when I sit down at this table with somebody that's been in the car business or something similar, it's
Oh, yeah.
just game on.
There's so much to cover.
I know.
I mean,
like I
so
said,
much.
I have enough for a book in my head, so it can go on and on and on.
That's about right.
But Dalton, Ricky, any final thoughts?
Appreciate you being on.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's been a long time coming. We've been talking about having you on for a while, so
Yeah.
glad
I'm finally in
glad you're
town.
finally-
You're a busy guy. Lots
you
of
are a
travel.
busy
Yeah.
guy. Oh yeah, you're busy as hell. So
Hard guy to tie down and
Yeah.
get here on a Wednesday night. So,
Oh, I know.
but
It's all good.
I enjoyed it though.
Heck yeah.
thank you
Thanks for having me
again.
out.
And that is the M3 podcast. See you again next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the M3 Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Want to learn more? Check us out on Instagram at Moss Marketing Group, on Facebook at Moss Marketing 58, or on our website at mossmarketinggroup.com.